Life is a trip, as many say. A trip with up and downs. That is, to my perspective, a very spot on analogy. Why? Because the purpose of a trip is to live new experiences, meet people, and finally connect with them. The same thing that is done when working, studying, or interact with our local environment, where we explore, discover, and learn from people. A great change is to realize how people can be so different when entering a new culture, a new country, or even in a new continent. This is the story how I traveled away from our beautiful country to a new place that expanded minds to new ideas, culture, and knowledge. Being a young adult in itself is an adventure, discovering new aspects of life, acquiring new rights as well as responsibilities. You want to meet more people for social, romantic, and or work purposes. And when you start to feel that your house, your town, or city are small and want to go out to discover more. We will talk about a 17 years old Sergio who has the opportunity to travel China. Something that at first sounds like a joy, but after thinking it better, fills you with a lot of fear and the feeling of having to face the unknown and take this opportunity. I had never been inside of a transatlantic plane and have never had a flight of more than 2 hours. Actually, I had only traveled by plane once before, something that filled me with terror. Facing this with false bravery was the best option to going into the first 14 hours of flight. But the most difficult thing is the start, the takeoff. Took an eternity and had me grabbing my seat and trying to assure myself that everything was going to be fine. And suddenly becoming the most religious person and saying each and every one of the prayers that I knew just to overcome the takeoff. As well, the first hour of flight that was filled of turbulence, which made me fear for my life, even if they were very small or when this went for the first hour until I slowly resigned and I faded to the background. This happened 4 times on this trip. After the torture of 214 hours flying and a couple of inconvenience immigration on the scale of on France, we finally arrived in China, where we already had an established schedule and different meetings and events of interest such as the Great Canton Fair. When navigating Guangzhou and getting used to the subway in my free times, I realized how big is of a barrier the language and culture that separate us was some people directly fled when I tried to approaching them to talk or ask something, but those who had the confidence of interact with me and know each other helped me to learn a string difference there is in our routine and traditions from one country to other. After that, I was able to interact more openly during the Canton Fair and during the meetings with different companies. When reflecting of the experience of immersing yourself in a complete completely different culture from your own. It is clear that this type of travels is not only an exciting adventure, but also is an inevitable opportunity for a mental, personal, and intellectual growth. Through the interaction with people of different backgrounds and perspectives, one expands their horizon and develops a greater understanding of how the surrounding world is impressive. This type of experiences encourage empathy, tolerance, and mental openness and flexibility, crucial elements for the integral development of an individual. Ultimately, a trip to a different culture not only enriches our lives with new experiences and unforgettable memories, but also transforms us, challenge us, and inspire us to be more completely and aware versions of ourselves.